You're taking a good coffee?
I'm trying to.
Wow, that's right on the edge.
Yes, barely worked.
Now you're just going to get a bunch of water for your first couple.
Nope, that's not true.
The water. You're going to swirl it?
Nope. It'll just be right because I will it so.
I mean, that's why you're the boss. We're all
Let's hear it, Vincent.
The water penetrated it.
Oh boy.
So that's why it mixed properly, because you got ample penetration.
It's a hard pour. That's a thing! It's a thing!
I almost
It sure is.
I almost had coffee come up my nose. That was painful.
Good morning. There's nobody watching anyway.
That's
so.
okay.
No.
It's a perfect
Okay,
opportunity.
We're in a weird spot here.
It's a
Like
perfect-
everybody's in the wrong position. Okay, there we go.
All right, hold on. I gotta fix this collar thing here. What was our debacle this morning that we were having in the class or in the office?
Hair looks on point, boss.
So that we can talk about that while people are logging in.
What we were talking about, what's the difference between a couple, a few, a handful, and
Several?
or something? Yeah, I don't know what the other words were.
What about a
Many?
plethora?
A plethora?
I think it's a plethora. Where's Workman?
It's a plethora.
That sounds.
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
disease.
That's
It
from,
does.
from Three
like
Amigos.
it.
Wait. Yeah. Is that
Never
what it's
seen
called?
it.
I
Never
don't
seen
like it.
You gotta watch it. It's freaking
Makes me uncomfortable.
hilarious.
it. The last time you told me about a hilarious movie, I did not agree.
Oh my god, that movie's, it's right, that's what it's called. It's Martin Short and,
Three Musketeers?
no.
No.
It's like Three Musketeers, but it's
Great.
but it's bad. So it's awesome. Three Amigos.
English is
Like
confusing.
Martin Short, Steve, who's the guy who's been great since he was like 2 years old?
The only actor I
Steve
know
Martin.
is Steve Buscemi.
No, not Steve Buscemi.
I
Steve
can't
Martin.
even picture him. I'm
Oh,
terrible
my
at pop
goodness.
culture.
It's such a.
Hi, Kelsey.
Oh.
You gotta watch
All right.
Three Amigos. It's great.
I don't know.
Oh my goodness, it's cracking me up just thinking about it.
A couple.
Plethora.
What?
A couple.
A couple.
What's a couple? We need you guys to chime in. Okay,
All right,
so we've
what's
been
a
having
couple?
this debate.
How many is a couple?
that
That's
one's
an
the
easy
easy
one.
one.
Is it?
Sue.
But that doesn't include you.
Yes.
So if I said
Wait.
I had a couple people coming, that's 3 total.
No, but you're talking about someone.
This is what I'm here
See
for.
what I deal
This
with?
is what I'm here for.
These are the kind of conversations we have. And I think we probably started off with a somewhat intelligent conversation, and it turned into that. For
What
like
did we talk about?
I don't know because that took over. So I don't know.
Hi, Enzo.
Hands up.
What up, Enzo?
Okay, so a couple is 2.
According to you.
And then, so if you have a couple students coming in, and then the 3 of you go downstairs,
What
it
if you have
becomes
students?
a few.
You stuck a definition on there of students. So yes, I would agree. A couple students means 2 students is coming. But if I said I had there's a couple people in classroom 1, that includes me.
No, you don't have to be in classroom
Yeah.
1.
You could be standing in front of the counter and say there's a couple of people in classroom 1.
How many bullets do you have if you have a couple bullets?
If I have a couple bullets,
Not enough.
not enough.
Valid.
I would argue we're talking about 2 bullets.
Okay.
Because I'm not including me as 1 bullet.
This is what you tuned in to watch this morning.
You're welcome.
Yes.
That's what I'm here for.
Okay, so
what
2
the heck are we actually
a
supposed to be
couple
talking
is
about?
2, a
Elizabeth?
few is 3,
Yeah.
4 is. We didn't decide on that one.
Several?
Several.
I think a few is 3 to 4, and then a handful is 5, and then several is 6.
What if
to
you only have
7,
4 fingers?
8. That's the exception.
So-
That was a Vinnie statement.
It is
Infinite
not
what
being
if.
inclusive.
Yes.
Infinite what if.
Oh, damn it. I meant to tag the freaking Black Guns Matter event thing this morning when I was doing this, and I forgot.
Good job.
I know. That's what I do.
I wish I had a. Good
That's
job.
it. All right,
What are we talking about?
go. You're supposed to be leading this.
No, all I
shindig.
got to do is bring up the topic, and then you go.
So what is the topic?
Dangerous places.
See, I mean,
So what does that mean?
I don't know. It could depend on a lot of things. Dangerous place could not be so dangerous. Actually, okay. So this is perfect. Kelsey's on here. So me and Kelsey went to a jiu-jitsu competition one time, and it was, I don't remember where it was, somewhere in North County, but we had to drive. We drove through the city to get there, and because we live in South County, so we just took the quick round through the city, and I made a poor decision and not getting gas ahead of time, so we were getting dangerously close to running out of gas, and we had to stop on, I think it was Adelaide or right around Hall Street area, but most would consider in that general area not the most advantageous place to stop and get gas, but we did, and it was it not necessarily, it could have been worse, but nothing happened, everything was fine. But it's about making decisions to avoid places that could potentially be dangerous. Gas stations in and of themselves are often considered dangerous places, all things considered, totality of the situation. But gas stations are considered transitional spaces, and I've heard some people liken it to the watering hole, like on National Geographic. Everybody's got to go there to get a drink, and guess what you're doing? You're distracted.
Yeah.
There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of things to pay attention to.
They have candy.
Me too. Do have candy. I like it.
Sorry.
And and it's an easy place for bad guys to fit in easily. People with bad intentions can blend in, and since you're so distracted with so many other things going on, it's quite easy to lose track of them or not notice them. So, gas stations, first and foremost. Next, do you guys have anything to say about the gas stations?
Well, it's definitely a spot that you got to pay attention, because, like you said, it's just an opportunity-rich environment, right?
Yep.
Because you get out of the car and you're looking at the pump, trying to figure out where you got to put your card and which flavor of gas you're going to get and all that jazz, and it's most likely your car's unlocked, and that's what you see happen a lot of times. Somebody just walks up on the passenger side. Not even on your side. They walk up on the passenger side, open the door, and just hop in, jump over, and hit the button or turn the key and go.
I actually figured out something I don't like about my Mini. That at the gas station, if I lock my doors like I normally do, I get out of my car and I lock my door. It locks my gas cap and I can't get gas. I have to have everything unlocked to be able to put gas in my car.
Just
And that
put a
kind of-
flat blade screwdriver in your pocket, and then you can just pry it up. It's no big deal.
That escalated quickly.
I have also noticed something I don't like about my car, my new car, is that the doors don't lock automatically. But then I'm like, okay, that's not the worst thing in the world. I just got to make the mental note to actually lock them. But learn your stuff. Make sure that you know how to lock your doors, how to get out of your car, because my car also does not unlock if I pull on the handle. I have to physically press the unlock button. So what if my car caught on fire and I need to get the heck out of Dodge? Am I going to have the wherewithal to press the button to get out of my car, or am I going to be frantically? Or what if I drove off into the river or something and I need to get out of my car? My door, probably not going to be able to open the door anyway, but you see my point. Know where these buttons are and know how to get out of your car, know your car. And then when you get to the gas station, some things to consider is my thing with getting gas, which is now changing completely because my gas tank is on the other side now. I used to have it on the driver's side, so I'd get out of my car, I'd leave my driver's door open, and I'd lock the door. That way all my other doors were locked, but my driver's door stayed open while I could pump gas. So if someone were to approach me that I did not want to talk to or something, I could either get in my car, close the door and lock it. I could turn around, grab my hose and use it as an improvised weapon. But I also didn't trap myself in between the hose and the door as well. I tried to make sure that I had an avenue in multiple directions, whether it's just that little spot through the side to go to the other side of the pumps, to get into my car or use my improvised weapon, or obviously I have my other weapon. A lot of times my child's in the car, so I don't want to just
Run away.
abandon him, right? So to keep my car door open made sense for me. Now my gas tank is on the other side, on the passenger side. I also moved my son's car seat over the passenger side, and I'm going to be playing with that for a little bit to try to see how it's a comfortable situation for me to navigate that. So it'll be a learning endeavor. I could still jump into my car, but I'll have to climb over the seat, and it's a confined space.
I don't think that my car will let me lock the doors with the door open.
I bet it will. As long as if you close the door, then it will immediately unlock, because you have a Toyota just like mine was. So you can lock it just as long as you keep the door open. But as soon as you close the door, if your keys are in there or something, which don't leave your keys in there, you have to play with it. Mine, as long as I kept my keys with me and left the door open, it'll be
Maybe
okay.
it's my Suburban that doesn't. But one of them beeps at me when if I hit the button, and it won't lock until you shut the door. When you shut the door, then it will lock. But it beeps as a warning to say, hey, if you're trying to lock the door manually, don't leave your keys in the car.
Right.
My Toyota definitely won't let me leave the keys in the car. But
Yeah. Kelsey says, there are for sure gas stations that I avoid at certain times of day, and I'm always watching my surroundings. That's a big part, is go to the gas station. If you work on the east side, get gas out here in Baldwin, or, in South County, or wherever you're passing through, and go during a good time of day. On your way to work in the morning or something, or, just try to play that game a little bit, and choose to go in a better time of day, in a better area.
What's another opportune? Well, I want to touch on that just for a second. Is I was having a conversation with a security officer his post was at a gas station, and he said every single day, once it gets dark, it turns into the Wild West out where he's working. So some places are definitely like that. And that's probably not a place you want to go to.
Kelsey says, in the mornings in the city aren't a good time to get gas. And know your area. That's a very good point, Kelsey, is get to know your area and make sense of your world, so that way you can make better decisions. This is all part of establishing a good baseline, so you can make good decisions to avoid conflict, to avoid fights in the first place. You win 100% of the fights you don't get into. So speaking of gas stations and transitional spaces, these would be parking lots or walking to and from places. Even your front door is considered a transitional space between your driveway and your door. Every morning when I step outside my door, it's pitch black outside, so I look around the corner, I look to the left, and I make sure that there's nobody around or some car randomly sitting in front of my house. It takes 2 seconds. It's like looking both ways. And if it's really dark and if there's something that odds me out a little bit, then I'll grab my flashlight and shine it off in the corner. When I leave out the back of the range, if it's dark outside, I'll just shine my light over there behind the shed, and it takes 2 seconds. Make sure that there's not a stray dog over there that might come up and bite me. Like, it's not always people that we're looking for. Maybe it's a rabid raccoon or something. So there's just stuff to pay attention to, and having a tool like a flashlight that's pretty small, you can fit in your pocket and blind your boss with.
Yes.
No, I didn't know. It's right in your face. Let me try again. Damn it. No, got it. I'm going to get payback later. Flashlights are awesome. Look around the corner, pay attention, recognize what's odd to you, so that way if you walk out your front door and something sticks out to you, you know that it's worthy of paying attention to. At least keeping your eye on it when you're getting in your car. It's not like you have to run up to it and bang your gun on the window or something. Like, please don't do that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying just pay attention, know your baseline. That you won't know a baseline if you never pay attention on normal days. So that way you can recognize anomalies. So transitional spaces, would it be weird, an anomaly, if you pulled up to the bank parking lot? I had to go into the bank the other day, and there's not a lot of cars in the parking lot. People don't go inside the bank anymore. But let's just say there's someone just hanging out outside the door, like just kind of like with their head down, or just standing there, hanging outside the front of the bank. Maybe they're just waiting on their partner to show up so they can go get a loan. Maybe you go inside and you're in there after seeing this person at the front. You go inside and you're standing there, and there's somebody that is a very similar profile inside, and you see them keep looking back and forth at each other. That's an anomaly. something to pay attention to. Doesn't necessarily mean that anything's going to happen, but it could mean that there might be something on the verge of happening that you can then make a decision on whether or not you want to stay or go. Recognizing those things ahead of time is important. So watching your transitional spaces, a lot of people are distracted in transitional spaces. Maybe you're walking up to, you're leaving the grocery store and you're walking to your car and you're checking things off your list and you're like, oh crap, I still got to go to Aldi or I still got to go to wherever, and you're distracted. That's never happened, right?
Yeah, right.
People pick up on that. Bad guys that pay attention to those things, looking for people that are distracted in those transitional spaces, because people are oftentimes thinking about where they just left, where they're going, and what they got to do moving forward. Humans are very forward-thinking people, so you've got to be mindful of that. Maybe instead of walking out into the transitional space while you still have things to think about and check things off your list, you stay inside for just a brief moment after you put your cart away and you're standing there at the front door, out of the way. Check things off your list, text your spouse or whatever, say, hey, I still got to go do this, and I got to go stop at this store or whatever. And then walk out the store without your phone in your hand. Keep your keys in your hand just in case somebody wants to steal your car. You can give them the keys and you can run away. Make sure your kids are off their phones and devices. Make sure that they know that if they're all up in your face and yelling and stuff like that, it's just not the time for those things. Have a conversation with your kids and say, look, when we walk to and from the car, devices go away and we pay attention. I don't want you getting hit by cars. I don't want you running through parking lots. I want you to look both ways, and I want us all to pay attention so we are a good, safe family to move forward. Get them in the car, close the door, put your groceries away, get in your car and then leave. Don't sit in your car either. That's another place where people pay attention to people not paying attention.
They're inattention. Something you can do.
Talking fast and getting hot.
You got hot from flapping your gums
Yes.
so fast. Okay.
If anybody can do it, it's me.
Something you can do to kind of see all this stuff happening is do what we call playing the wolf, where you go out and you sit someplace in a parking lot at Schnucks or at the gym or at a gas station, and don't act on any of this, but you see how you could take advantage of people because they are simply not paying attention. Like how I could snatch this lady's purse, or I could hop in the car and just take off because they left the car running and they went inside to get a Coke, right? You sit in Deerberg's parking lot and you just watch people not paying attention as they're putting groceries in the trunk, or as they're walking through or walking down the parking lot looking at their phone. And realize that you do all that same stuff because you do, right? Unless you make a conscious decision not to.
Another point on that is when you play the wolf, you also get to see, you start to get an inclination of what people are capable of, because if you've never let your brain go that direction, first off, you'll feel bad about it. If you can visualize taking somebody or hurting somebody or something like that, it sucks, and it doesn't feel good at first when you start doing this. It's good for you though to play those out in your head, because it also gives you some sort of inclination to what people are willing to do. Obviously, you're not willing to hurt someone to take something from them. At least I hope not, please. But if you can start to at least think about why people do that, then it makes you not so naive. You understand, there's
people capable of doing that.
Yeah, and there's a level there. Like, obviously, you're not willing to go and steal that or punch that person in the face to steal their phone just because you need a new phone. But at what point are you willing to do that? Because there's a point. What if somebody put a gun to your kid's head and said, if you don't go steal that man's phone, I'm going to take your kid? Then are you willing to go do that? It's a level at what people are willing to get violent for. And I'm not saying that you're capable of doing it for some piddly reason. That's my point, is people are willing to get there. Humans are capable and willing to get to that point. It's just a matter of, understanding that some people have a lower value system than you do, and them getting that phone could be whether that could be the determining factor in if they get this into this gang or something that they've been striving for. You know, like everybody lives different lives, and we have to be we have to be mindful of the fact that people live very different lives, and their purpose in life is very different from ours, right or wrong. So
back to the initial question.
sorry.
What's a dangerous place? I think we all know a simple answer for it. The process from going from point A to point B being usually your vehicle is a moving dangerous place.
Yeah.
It's not one location. It's not just the gas station. It's not just the grocery store. It's not just the Blockbusters that don't exist anymore. It is...
Trampoline parks are pretty dangerous, too.
That too. I don't want to talk about that.
You can go to the trampoline park.
It's the reality. It is the reality of it that a dangerous place isn't always just one place, and added bonus to that, it's not always one time.
Yeah.
There's been plenty of places that's perfectly fine, and then you go there at a different time, and now it's not perfectly fine. One of my jobs I did before I worked here, and there was a gas station across the street from where I worked at, and there was some times that it was actually kind of fun to hang out there. It was actually kind of fun. The person that worked behind the counter was hilarious, and we had a good time. But then I usually worked the shift where I would go in at 7:30-ish, and I'd get off at 7:30-ish in the morning. And there was times that I shouldn't go there, and it was a terrible idea. And so it was just especially me wearing a security guard uniform, was all kind of bad. So it was just dangerous places. Where they are, I don't know if there's really a perfect definition for where a dangerous place is. It changes depending on the time of day. It changes on what you're doing. But I'd say one simple one that we all could agree on is you having to go from point A to your vehicle is probably one of the more dangerous things that we have to do.
Now, should you be more confident going to these places if you carry a deadly tool on you?
I'd say no.
No. It
No.
shouldn't make a difference.
It shouldn't make a difference.
Shouldn't change anything.
You shouldn't go to places that you wouldn't go without a tool with a tool. That's
Nope.
a bad idea. You're asking for a fight.
You are going into it with the mindset that I'm going to use this thing, and I'm the protector.
I'm untouchable.
Yeah, that's not true.
Bad mindset.
Yeah.
All bad.
And we encounter that a lot in classes. Well, I would never go there, but now that I'm going to carry a gun, I can go to that place. That's not the right
Dumb places, dumb times.
Good place to consider, like 100% a dangerous place, is whenever there's alcohol involved. Alcohol changes people's inhibitions, and they are much more willing to get violent. Obviously, there's the drunks that just like, hey, I love you guys, like you're the best. There's definitely those types of drunks. But there's also the types of drunks that get belligerent and start fights for lesser reasons than they typically would. So anytime that there's alcohol involved, you need to be very mindful of a higher expectation of violence. And that's not the serial killers around the corner that are going to get you. These are normal people that maybe are having a really bad day. They go have a couple drinks, and then someone looks at them funny across the room. It's like, what's your problem? And then this brawl turns into a situation in your downtown bar that you just go and have a drink at every night and talk to the bartender. That can change the dynamic of a place quite a bit. So it's just something to pay attention to. I'm not saying you can't go out and enjoy yourself, but be careful. And then definitely, if you're going to partake, keep your gun at home.
Yeah.
Know the sacrifice you're making.
Yeah.
You know, like if you choose to go do that, like I said, live your life, but make good decisions. There was a party that I went to, a birthday party, and one of the guys showed up late, was already drunk, and he had his gun on him and decided to throw it out with a bang and shot his gun into the ground a couple times. That was a bad idea. People got hurt, and he made a bad choice because he was intoxicated. So that's something to be mindful of. Alcohol changes things quite a bit.
Hey, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Hey, Mom. Mom's here.
Is
Hi,
everything
baby.
ready to go for this morning?
Shit.
No. We probably got to get going.
That's awkward.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mom.
Hi, Mom. Bye, Mom. So, yeah, really, the bottom line, it comes down to paying attention,
Yep.
right? Looking for anomalies, knowing what makes something an anomaly, what makes something an anomaly. The only way to do that is to pay attention to everyday life, right? To see what is typical, what is normal. All right, we got to go. Sorry. We wanted to talk about this, but we are on a tight schedule. We all have all sorts of things to do today. So if you guys need something, come see us, 1403 Manchester Road in beautiful Baldwin, Missouri. 10 to 8, Monday through Friday, Saturday 9 to 6, Sunday 10 to 6. Come hang out with us, shoot guns, drink coffee. What else do we do here? Do classes. Oh, Friday. What time? 6 to 9. Maybe? 7 to 9? 6 to 9? 6 to 9. Black Guns Matter. Maj Toure is going to be here. I do believe it's sold out, but I'm not positive of that. A community event trying to get people in here who are not necessarily gun people to come in and learn about their rights and so on. So hopefully you're signed up. If not, check out Black Guns Matter. I think you can find registration link on our website, see if there's any spots available. It's not through our classes. I believe it's just on the homepage. There's a link to his website. So again, Black Guns Matter, Friday, 6 to 9. Going to be a good time. You guys have a super awesome day. Stay safe. Be nice to one another. We'll catch you soon. Later.
Toodles.
Toodles.
Awkward pause.